Welcome back to the Brentwood Bowl. And this is kind of our people's segment, Bo Hudepohl.
That's right. We have Bud Boskin sitting to the right. Steve Swillinger, one of the proprietors from here. There's some of the sponsors sitting there. We'll talk about them a little later. And Dave Callery, our standby. Mike McDonald from Stumps Lanes. There's Ken Rippinger from Hudepohl. Tim McDonald. And I think our score table is featuring Jerry Bettinghouse, president of the BPA, and Sam Coleman.
The legend that is Sam Coleman. Here to start off match number 2 is Wayne Schuerman. David Newrath.
Wayne, one of the most underrated players in the entire city. Right there. You saw it, 5th board, straight up and at him. He's going to be tough.
And, of course, he's facing Paul Danforth, the winner of match 1, the transplanted Southern Californian. As Bo pointed out earlier, celebrating his initial anniversary. He's spent 1 year in Cincinnati, and he's done quite well for himself. Let's see what he does in match 2, opening frame. He responds with a strike, David.
There you see with some of that emotion that we were telling you about. Maximum shot area. Talk to Paul in between the matches. He is playing the lanes with a slight bit of a difference, JD. The right-hand lane, he says he's got a little bit more area on the left-hand lane. He's made a slight adjustment with his left foot, and we're going to see how that adjustment works right here. Better adjust it again.
Time to readjust already, as it was not the shot he wanted. Leaving the 3, 4, 5, and 9. And
my bad, JD. 3, 5, 6.
Well, mathematics, of course, my worst subject. I wouldn't dare tread on it. 3, 5, 6, and 9. We stand corrected with that mathematical problem. And let's see what he does here.
You know, for a guy like me, we watch the television show, and it's easy to see numbers, but my whole brain is geared to thinking right-handed. My game is into right-handed, and it's really tough to turn it around sometimes.
You know, it could be a little confusing, this game, too, because you have a right-hander and a left-hander, David.
Well, especially at 9 o'clock in the morning, right?
And, of course, for our friends at home, a reminder, we do this on a tape-delayed basis. As we start bright and early, you see it beginning at 11:30 a.m. on Channel 5. And here's Wayne Schuerman.
Well, Bo, I told you he was playing right up 5. Let's watch and see how much mistake area he's got. What's that ball on? 2nd, 3rd board, maybe?
Looks like it got out to 1.
Amen. Coming back, the head pin right there to the wall. Coming off, getting the 4, sliding into the 7. Pin action personified. Wayne Schuerman has a little room to play.
You mentioned the fact that we have a right-hander and a left-hander. Obviously, we've had a couple of left-handers this morning. Does that set up a different condition on the lane, David?
Exactly, JD. It's the oil pattern that changes through the course of a game, and that just happens everywhere. It's going to change less here today than normal on the right-hand side. If there were 4 right-handed players, the players would have to adjust more often. Chances are, if Wayne Schuerman gets locked in on a shot, he might stay there all day. There you see the 2, 8.
You know, we have the opposite of last week. Jerry Eckel, our current king, was the only left-hander and had to contend with the right-hand side bowlers shooting.
You've said it 100 times, JD. The variables involved in this great game of bowling are hundreds and hundreds. Look out, he made it.
Have I really said it hundreds and hundreds of times already?
I think, no. Hundreds and hundreds of variables.
That's true. Billions and billions.
Billions and billions, that's right. Paul Danforth is going to try to get billions of pins to fall down here. And
or at least 10 of them.
At least 10.
Mission accomplished, David.
He's in the area, obviously very comfortable on the right-hand lane. Watch the shot. Going out to about the 3rd board and then just letting it roll off. Power personified. 1-2 pocket. Head pin doing its job. Ball rolling through, looking for something else to knock down. He's lined up. He's going to be tough.
I think he's going to try to increase our TV average for the year. You know, we're at a 219 clip right now.
Leaving the 6 pin.
That fact reflected here on the board.
Going to shoot cross lane at this JD. Going to utilize a lot of the lane surface. At least 38 boards of it, I guarantee you.
Makes use of that real estate, David. Comes up with a spare.
You know, every week we've had the bowler who won in the roll-off going through all of our matches. It looks like we're on the same pace again today.
And we'll also have to see if there's a bow factor involved here now. Quite often there's a new ramp factor. When we say one thing, something else happens. But let's see what happens with that experimentation as Wayne Schuerman steps up. 40-year-old right-hander out of Erlanger, Kentucky.
He liked it. He liked it. A reaction shot to Paul Danforth. Very excitable kind of guy. Wayne Schuerman. Fancy footwork. 1-3 pocket. The ball is absolutely perfect. Just watch. That's the way to do it.
You know, Wayne shows his emotion by running him out. That's where he goes across a couple pairs of approaches and he likes what he sees.
Well, we got a surprise for him if he runs too far. He'll go right over that 12-inch cable that we got.
And that could be just a tad of a disaster, not to mention he might pull the plugs on some of the lights, plunging us into darkness. But right now, let's see what he does.
It's in the area. You heard him talking about it, JD. He rooted it home.
Did the talking there, and we're going to let our fine friends do some talking here as we take a little break here for the better beers of Hudepohl. Welcome back to the Brentwood Bowl and the Hudepohl King of Bowling. And we move into frame 5 here for Paul Danforth. There's our Youth King. In case you don't know about it, join us at 11:30 now as we celebrate our 25th year of local bowling. We have the Youth King of Bowling. And we just saw him back there, and here we see Paul Danforth going for the adult title in adult fashion.
Like we told you before, Paul is comfortable on the right-hand lane. He feels like he has a little more room for error, and he's utilizing every piece of it. Feels comfortable, ball's rolling cleanly. Wayne Schuerman is not going to roll over and play dead. You can bet on that.
So Danforth fills up frame 5. Let's see what he does in the 6th. Will they be vapor? They be V-A-P-O-R.
You call it. I think the JD factor is more accurate than I am, but watch this. Keep your eyes on the head pin. This is the pin that's going to do the karate on the whole rack. Going to the right-hand side of your screen, right there, hitting the wall, coming off, and just looking for something else to knock down. When the ball's that strong, it's too tough. Wayne Schuerman, 98 to 80. Right now, you're looking at an 18-pin advantage.
You know, we're here at beautiful Brentwood Bowl, but, you know, they're taking some further steps to beautify the place and add a little something different. They're going to do some remodeling, and they're going to have a brand new nightclub open around March. Can't wait.
Yes, thoughts of a nightclub and nighttime entertainment, especially appropriate here around the crack of dawn, Miss Bo. The 2 and the 8 left for Wayne Schuerman.
A sleeper.
And, of course, if the truth be told, in addition to making a fashion statement with her fine chapeaus, Bo, why do you wear those lovely hats bright and early on Sunday? Can we let the folks in on the secret?
Well, it's a known fact that if I happen to stay up a little late the night before, I don't have time to fix my hair, so I hide under a hat.
Well, you do it in fine fashion. Those two, the 2 and the 8 could not hide from Wayne Schuerman, David New Rapids. He's able to nail those for the spare.
I've never heard that one, Bo. That's good.
That's how it started 7 years ago.
There you have it.
Well,
how fashion trends are born.
Well, if you see me in a hat next week, you know what happened.
The untold story. Just pleased to give it to you here on the Hudepohl King of Bowling. And a story that Wayne Schuerman would like to complete successfully. He's not a stranger to Paul Danforth, is he, Bo? These two guys meet on occasion during the week, don't they?
That's for sure. Tuesday nights at Western Bowl in the Boinke Memorial League, they compete against each other.
And he memorializes those pins right there. It is Wayne Schuerman filling up the frame, David.
Paul Danforth has cut the lead now to 8 pins with a strike here in the 7th frame. He could go into the lead technically by 2 sticks. Big shot.
smooth and easy like beauty gold. They go right down.
Phenomenal shot. Under pressure. What are we going to look at here? A lot of action. Now the 4-pin. Second pin from the left-hand side of your screen. Take a look at it. Here, it goes to the channel, but it's not finished yet. Comes off belly to belly into the 7. You're out of here, and it's my lead. 4 pins. Advantage Paul Danforth.
The advantage to Danforth, and he tries to build on it. Does the first time gentleman on this telecast, leaving that 7.
What a crucial shot. On the lane he's been having trouble with. He makes a great move, but watch the 4-pin again. The culprit this time going up and around the neck of the 7-pin. He could have taken the 4-pin lead to 14 pins. Not today.
Let's see what Mr. Danforth can do with his pesky 7. It's gone.
Perfect on the day with those 7 pins, Bo.
He sure is. You know, that's a difficult spare for a lot of people. 7 and 10 pin.
Those little weasels that lurk in the corner back there.
Weasels. I've called them worse than weasels before.
Indeed, but this being a family telecast, and on Sunday as well, and in conjunction with the Federal Communications Commission and those who would throw us off.
They are
try
weasels,
to find those.
Yes.
They're weasels.
Good shot. Good shot.
Pop go those weasels for Wayne Schuerman.
What a great, great shot. Wayne Schuerman under pressure again to take the lead back. Throws it flush into 1-3, no deflection. Gives him 160, 4 pins advantage. Back to Wayne Schuerman. Could stretch it to 14.
Well, you know, he also has an advantage. He has been bowling in our King qualifiers for 10 years. He can't decide how many times he's made the show. It looks like 8 or 9. And, of course, Paul Danforth is
Actually,
something
if the truth be told, Wayne Schuerman's penmanship leaves a bit to be desired. His craft here on knocking down the bowling pins is great, but when it comes to pens, P-E-N, we don't know how many times. It kind of looks like a scrawled... There's that penmanship working for Wayne.
9th frame, the building frame. We're seeing it being filled in there. 166 in the 7th. Gives him a... Oh, how about just jumped in the lead? 7 pins that time. But watch this. Perfect. 1-3 again. Every pin doing its job. He is in the driver's seat. Paul Danforth has got to strike out.
Uh-oh. That is something that he didn't like to see, and David, I think I may be understating the case.
Not mathematically out of it, but I tell you what, if ever there was a way to really take the wind out of somebody's sails, it just happened. A pretty good shot, a little high, but not too bad, leaving the 6-8. Difficult spare combination, slide it over. Let's watch. Look at it!
Oh my goodness, my goodness. He did what he wanted to do, basically.
Exactly. Let's watch it here on the replay, JD. The 6-pin. He's going to get about another 1/8 of an inch of this pin, and he would have made it. It's going to go in front of the 8-pin. Incredible.
And the 8 is left.
His job now is to give me 3 in the 10. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. The man is going to throw a perfect shot here. Solid 9, stone 9, back row. You see it there happening. The 3-pin just getting out of the way. The 5-pin going straight back. When these two things happen to you in the 9th and 10th frame, you know it's your turn to win.
Isn't that the only true tap for the right-hander, an 8-pin, and for the left-hander, a 9-pin?
Well, technically, Bo, you're right. They're on a perfect strike. Ladies and gentlemen at home, how many pins does the ball touch? Those Jeopardy fans this week.
Time's up. Answer the question.
4. The ball only touches 4 pins on a perfect strike. The right-hander, the 9-pin is one of them. For Paul, the 8-pin, obviously. So 1 pin wasn't doing its job on that one, Bo.
That's for sure.
Wayne Schuerman will go on to meet the champion, throwing a very commendable game.
And so you see the total there as Mr. Schuerman completes the game. Mathematically, he is our winner.
You know, our trend's been broken.
The bow factor.
The bow factor. Search and destroy on that 10-pin. Wayne Schuerman, who has shown himself to have a profitable visit across the river today, the Erlanger, Kentucky resident. Doing a job here, and now his adjustment frame, if you will, a chance, if he would care to, David, to experiment.
Well, with a 235, and technically it could have been just a little bit more, I wouldn't experiment around. I'd throw 10 here in the pit, let my competitor come after me.
And that's what we'll see as Wayne Schuerman's able to finish out. Let's take a look at the totals here as they're filled in. A 235 game for Wayne Schuerman. He'll move along and will move along right after this for Hude.